On average, people can expect to have 2 and 3 careers during their work life, and those living one career often think about their second or third career move being one they can actually run out of their own home. And to share a few tips of those interested in starting a business, this morning we're joined by Nokuthula Magwaza, Biosummit host and WEDO SA ambassador. Nokuthula, a very good morning to you. Thanks for joining us. Welcome to Morning Live.
Good morning, and thank you so much for having me this morning.
You know, someone may have a brilliant business idea, but then there's the challenge of capacity. There's the issue of access to funding, premises, drawing a business plan. And there's so many issues that really hinder people from proceeding, starting their own businesses. So what do you look out for when starting a business, and where do you even start?
Well, a great question indeed, because we are all inspired by different things when we start businesses. And as a businesswoman, in fact, have started a few businesses, I know that the most important part of starting a business is often solving a problem. It's often looking at what your consumers or immediate community is looking for within the area that you are in. And if you are looking to start a business, the best thing is to always solve a problem. And so as a problem solving is one of those skills that you need to begin and start a business, and just meeting the needs of the people that are around you.
So what are the costs that are involved? Please do lay down the expenses for us in the order of which needs to be paid.
Yeah, the starting point is not as expensive. I mean, once you have an idea and you know that you want to start a business, getting to brainstorm the business name is something that you can do with your immediate family or friends around you. The registration of the business is also not that expensive. I mean, you register a business from as little as 125 Rand. It can obviously scale up to about 470 Rand, 800 if you want to use a reputable accounting firm that will register for you, so that you get all the other documents that you need, like tax documents, BEE certificates. So it depends exactly in which industry you're in and what documentation you need. Opening a bank account is not going to cost you much, but the most important thing is obviously to start building a professional image for your business. Yes. And that starts with having a corporate identity or logo for your business. And once you have that logo, have a website that is developed and it actually explains clearly what services you've got to offer. The one thing I learned from a Google CMO was no one should start a business that is not Googleable in the day of the fourth industrial revolution. So everybody needs to be on the platform, have your website, and the earliest part or the easiest part is obviously having your social media platforms, which won't cost you much if you do it yourself and you literally just learn by doing. But if you have the budget and the funding upfront, you may get a digital agency to help you establish those social media platforms.
Obviously, all that you've mentioned comes at a cost, even though in some instances it comes at a small cost. So how do people apply for funding, and what are the terms and conditions to that?
So it's a tricky part. I mean, I'm not an expert in funding and raising funding as such for a business. Personally, I visited my banker before I even resigned from my corporate business employment. And that's something that I will give as a tip for everybody. If you're still in an employment and you're establishing a business as a side hustle, visit your banker while you are an employed person or an employee, because your credit rating is better than when you say I'm self-employed. Immediately when you resign and you step out to the outside world and you start your business, the bank will not look at you as well as it did when you're employed. And so starting there is getting a loan from a bank is probably the easiest way to. And so I started by getting a loan from the bank. I took a little bit of my pension fund as well, which I made a promise to myself that I'll pay within a few years. So that's an easiest way to start. But I've also seen some very novel ideas where people actually have a group saving, a stokvel that converts into a business, or a business stokvel, to put it that way, where you are building towards 6 months capital to be able to pay for your website development. Years, 1,000 Rand if an agency is doing it for you, to 15 grand to 35 grand, depending on how elaborate and what features you are putting on that website. Developing your website, I mean, your logo could be from 3,500 Rand with an agency, and then getting all your templates and your letters and your email signatures, it can move to 7.5 and eventually 15,000 Rand. So it's not a huge amount of money that you need to establish and have that professional image in the beginning so that you have something to put on a table when you pitch your idea. So start there. I know there's a lot of other facilities by government, grants by SEDA, and that's a good starting point because it's not a huge commitment in terms of a huge loan when you start your business, but they can pay for your website development. They can pay for your logo development. They can pay for some of the initial promotions that you need to have or branding that you need to have for your business. So those are easy ways to get in. And then obviously there's more complicated funding that will be your NEF, which often is you've already got a track record of operating a business and you're looking to scale and you're looking to maybe expand your factory and you're looking for equipment funding. And that will require a lot more. Your financials, your credit record, cash flows and projections for what you think your business will perform like going forward. So there's an array of those and you can just Google them and find out more information on funding.
Nokuthula, just how important is networking and getting your business out there? I mean, there's the use of social media lately. How helpful is that? And to what extent can it actually help with marketing your hustle?
You know, someone said that our cell phones and our computers is almost like we have media companies in our hands, basically. And social media is just that important. I mean, an average person will have close to 200 or 500 followers on Facebook. And when you start, you may probably gather around 100 people that will follow you, an immediate market that could potentially be converted into customers. Yes. So social media is really important because you're able to engage, you're able to have a video presentation as I'm engaging with you now with an audience that might just see that you're about to connect and you're about to tell them about your services. You project and you portray your brand, your packaging. So it's as good as having your product on shelf at a retail platform, but it's on digital platform. And so people are able to just go and look at your store online. Social media can actually allow you to have a store, an e-commerce link to your Instagram or your Facebook page. So it's very important to be able to engage there. But most important, when you start a business, get in front of the professionals in South Africa, and LinkedIn is a brilliant platform. In all the social media platforms that are there, ensure you have a profile on LinkedIn for credibility, because it is a platform for professional people, and close to 8 million South Africans are active and live every day on LinkedIn, engaging, looking for service providers, looking to employ others, and just learning from each other.
You know, we know that not all businesses become successful overnight. So what do you need to keep in mind when things don't go your way?
Yeah, that is one of the things that hold back a lot of people from not starting their businesses. And it's failure. It's the fear of failure that I often look out for when I coach women in business, particularly as women enterprise development, enterprise organization. We always just look out to say, do not listen to the fear, because fear is part of your journey towards success. And so if you're going to fear, that means you fear success, because it is a stepping stone towards your success. And there's lessons in all the failures that we encounter. But obviously you need to try, you need to start. And so you got to look out for those, I'll call them little foxes that speak to you and tell you that you are not good, or your product is not good, or your product is not needed in the market. So it's all about also self-development and being able to be self-motivational, self-inspiring, and leading yourself every day to say, there is a need in the market. I did research this need in the market. Positive self-talk is just as important as how you portray and confidently sell or serve in the market with your product and your offering.
Now that I've got all my ducks in a row, my business is off the ground, the website is live, I do have my logo. How do I keep bettering my business?
It's sustainability is all about consistency. It's about getting up and getting into it every day. I always say to the ladies that I coach, if you don't work the dream will never work. So you've got to take that consistent action, backing yourself up first before you expect other people to back you up. You've got to show up every day confidently, knowing that what you have to offer is of great quality and it is actually meeting a need. And most importantly, purpose. I always say that, in fact, it has been proven a lot by most corporate businesses that businesses that are driven by purpose behind their existence, they tend to thrive by 65% ahead of those that are not purpose-led. And so it's very important to also ask that big why. Why do I want to start a business? Why does this business exist? And ensure that that purpose is what obviously keeps you going and thriving in tough times. And most importantly and lastly, it's about ensuring at the beginning of the year, like we are now in January, that you set a vision that is clear for the year or the next 3 years, that you know what are the numbers you're looking for, what are the growth expectations that you have, and so what are you going to need, breaking that vision into clear goals and smart goals that will actually help you with action plans and navigate you throughout the year and throughout your business. So have a clear plan, have a roadmap, and it starts with a clear vision of what you're looking to achieve in your business going forward.
You know, Nokuthula, thank you so much for sharing with us very, very good reasons of why we should start businesses, especially now in the year 2021, post-2020. We appreciate your time.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. Well, it can be difficult.